Hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm so happy to be back here with you all today. As you guys know, I've been traveling quite a bit over the last month, and so I wasn't sitting still too long at one place for too long, rather. So I'm back home. I'm back in the saddle, and I'm not going nowhere no time soon. So we could be thankful for that, I guess, or not. Sorry if I seem to be freezing up a little bit. I don't know what's going on, but nevertheless, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. I won't be sharing the link today because I am by myself, and in fact, Donovan, he's in the DR, getting his medical treatment. Y'all do with that what you will, but he'll be back sometime next week. So we wish him a well-deserved vacation. But today we're going to be talking about ICE agents being denied entry to Dodger Stadium as protests continue. But before I get into all that, like I said, happy Juneteenth to everyone, as today is June 19th. Of course, it is the day that the slaves, I think it's 1865, got the last slaves in Galveston, Texas, got word that slavery is over, right? So it was like 2 or 3 years before that it had actually ended, Emancipation Proclamation. But, for whatever reason, and we know the reason, the slave masters and the powers that be in Galveston, Texas, I did not want to tell them. So they kept them as slaves as long as they could. So today is in commemoration of that. Of course, we know that the Biden administration made it into a federal holiday where a lot of things are closed. But of course, we know that we were celebrating it before Biden decided to, give us the symbolism of the holiday. Nowadays, it's more of a money grab, if you will, for corporations. And I've been seeing a lot of conversation about that online. I saw one sister walked into a Kroger grocery store and she showed some cakes that they made, and they were horrible cakes. Just kind of like they threw them together. One says free with the @ symbol last. On, I guess, we're free at last. I don't know. But whatever you may be doing on today, June 19th, Juneteenth, I hope that you're having a great day. I'll actually be doing something on Saturday. Now, I know some people celebrated it the last weekend. I wasn't here, so I'll be celebrating it this weekend. But nevertheless, who is on here? Corey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Tyrone, what's going on with you? Yes, happy Juneteenth. Sagittarius Goddess, hope you're doing well. Ebony Red, how are you? Sister Shirley, what is going on? It's Edgy, hope you're doing well. Yvette, yes, you caught me live, and I haven't seen you on here in a while, so I'm glad that you did catch me live. Who else we got? Mr. Norris, thank you. Hope you're doing well. And Kat, how you doing? And Sherry, what's going on with you? Says they are making the Black people in Chicago put Juneteenth with Pride Month. Yeah, what is it? It's Black Music Month, Juneteenth, it's Pride, and I think it's men's health, which that's a good thing, right? Mental health. And so it's a combination of things going on. But again, we were celebrating Juneteenth before they told us we could officially. So yeah, I hope that helps. But anyway, I'm not going to be here before you long, as I had a lot of work to do today, so I'm a little bit tired. But we're going to get into this conversation. So, of course, you guys know that. I don't know why I'm freezing up. It hasn't been doing it. So hopefully you guys can hear me at the very least, and hopefully it'll clear up. I really don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, as you guys may or may not know, and I was in California for a lot of the protests that's been going on, especially in California. That's what seems to be in the media now. So nowadays, but the ICE raids took place in California, where from what I understand, they took place a couple of weeks ago at a Home Depot. Now, you guys know at a Home Depot, they hang out. They being immigrants, and some of them may not be legal. They try to do day laboring jobs and things like that. Well, ICE ran up in there and a couple other places and gaffled up the immigrants, and word spread, and then people got mad and they started protesting. Of course, y'all saw all the footage from the protests where things kind of got out of hand. And of course, a lot of the leadership, Black leadership as well, there in California, the governor, politicians, and everybody, and even local leaders, and we'll call them misleaders, they were upset. And Gavin Newsom told Trump, stay out of here. And then Trump was like, okay, well, since you guys are burning up stuff, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing here, I'm going to send in the troops, National Guards. And so he did that. but maybe they've backed off of it now. I don't know where it's at. So him and Gavin Newsom traded words on Twitter and things like that. And they're still protesting out there. Now, if you go on my channel and you see Saturday, I went to a protest and there was a lot of people out there protesting the ICE raids. They're basically saying, get out of California, leave, do not come here. We don't want ICE here. Okay. Now, if you know anything about Los Angeles, you know that the LA Dodgers is a huge sports organization, not just for Los Angeles, but, you know, over the world, right? And I believe they won the World Series last year and everything like that. Well, conversation started with, Latinos make up the largest fan base of the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are silent. And so people were asking them to make a statement. And the Dodgers, with the exception of their player by the name of Kiki Hernandez, I think I'm saying that right, he made a statement on social media saying that he cannot stand to see our community being violated, profiled, abused, and ripped apart. Now, he's Latino, but before that, the Dodgers, I guess they kind of were going to stay out of it. So a lot of word about boycotting and protesting the Dodgers, because I guess many feel like they should be pouring money or something, helping the immigrant community. And again, I don't know why I'm freezing up. It hasn't done this in a long time. So hopefully you can hear me. I apologize. Well, everybody's now waiting on, I guess, pins and needles, because the Dodgers did say that they are going to actually do something to help the immigrant community. What it is, we don't know yet. Maybe they'll decide by the time I get off of here, but they're now going to do something. And see what else that they say here. Okay, so with that, ICE allegedly tried to go into, I guess, the parking lot of the Dodger Stadium. And so the Dodgers released a statement that said, this morning, ICE agents came to Dodger Stadium and requested permission to access parking lots. They were denied entry by the grounds organization, rather, and they said tonight's game will be played as scheduled. But Department of Homeland Security basically said that they had nothing to do with the Dodgers. They said that the Border Patrol vehicles, I guess, were at the stadium parking lot very briefly, but were unrelated to any operation enforcement. So Department of Homeland Security says, yeah, they were there, but they weren't there for that. I don't know. But the Dodgers are saying, yeah, they were there for that. So after that, of course, you know, people started to protest and things like that, saying, you know, the famous saying F ICE and all of that. Okay. Now, some of y'all probably wondering, why are you telling us about this? Well, I thought about it. I was like, wow, you know, Latinos really got the juice. Now, I also want to say this. Most Latinos in California, United States, are here legally, right? So when we talk about Latinos, unfortunately, it gets mixed up with, you know, I guess maybe like Latinos are illegal, but that's not true. Okay, so I just want to say that. But I want to say definitely there in Los Angeles, California, they got the juice enough to make the Dodgers say, okay, we're going to announce some help for immigrants. Now, with that, I'm thinking, is it illegal immigrants? Because that's what the hot button issue is, right? It's the illegal immigrants. So I don't know. What are they going to announce? And what kind of help are they going to announce? Now, of course, they're thinking, all right, they're going to boycott us. They're going to boycott us. And yes, the Dodger fan base is largely Latino, as Los Angeles is largely Latino, as California is largely Latino. So with that, I guess the Dodgers is like, yeah, we can't afford to lose any money. They make a lot of money, right? But that the Latinos are the largest base. Yeah, we better acquiesce what they want. Now, I don't want to take anything away from us as Black Americans, because we've made some statements too. We've made some statements that we're not going to get involved with nobody else's stuff, right? Especially after Kamala, not because of Kamala lost. Well, some people did, like the 92%, the 78% of Black men and women that voted for Kamala. They said that they're just going to mind their business and not get involved in anything. And of course, the rest of us who have been marching, not physically, but saying, oh, yeah, we're going to sit on the couch. We're not getting involved. And so this protesting, you know, for legal immigration is no different. A lot of Black Americans said we're not getting involved anything like that. And of course, a lot of people have been wondering why even people who look like us talking about, oh, we should be protesting because we'll be next and all this other stuff. So we have some power. But I just thought that was very interesting that the Latinos got the Dodgers to acquiesce whatever demands that they want. So we could do the same thing. We could do the same thing, and we have, in a sense, done the same thing. And I should also say, I'm sure they took that out of our playbook as well. So I want to get into the comment section. Oh, yeah, I stopped freezing. I don't know what that was about. So I'm going to get into the comment section and see what you guys think about the Dodgers. Shortly, I guess they're going to make an announcement that they will do something for the immigrant community and, whatever about the ICE raids. I guess ICE agents trying to go into the Dodger Stadium and do what? I don't know. I guess I can only speculate that they were going to maybe gaffle some people up, but it's going to be very interesting. So let me see what you guys have to say. And thank you for bearing with me here. All right, Michael, how you doing? Says checking in from Hayward, California. What up? One who cares, how you doing? And thank you to all my beautiful, lovely moderators. You guys are awesome. Thank you for holding down the comment section. Even as I freeze, this is the weirdest thing. I don't know. Michael says the Black misleadership is the correct term to describe all the sellouts, and a word I don't necessarily like, but y'all can read it. As Edgy says, the real agenda behind all those protests is a mousetrap to incite Blacks into violence in order to carry out their evil intent. Good reason to sit back, Black folks. No, you're absolutely right, because it's been said a million times, as soon as we get out there, they will do all they can do, right? Do what they usually do. Harm us, lock us up and all that. But you've heard of some people getting locked up, but they don't be cracking skulls like they do when Black people get out there, right? But, I feel like if we're going to get our skulls cracked, it might as well be for something that is beneficial to us, not everybody else, and especially to everybody else who usually watches us go through the things that we go through. So, yeah, totally agree with you. Let's see here. Gary, how you doing? Says FBA, blessing Sister Demetra from Watts. What's up? Yes, indeed. Yeah, I was in Los Angeles last week, visiting some family and things like that. And I will say, as I was driving through there, I got kind of mad, really more so because it's like you see a lot of homeless population there, tent cities with a bunch of tents erected and all of that. And I thought about it. I said, these Democrats and shills and all these, bleeding heart liberals in California got a lot of audacity. Got a lot of audacity to be crashing out, getting arrested, slammed onto the floor and all kind of stuff over illegal immigrants. But you bypass all the homeless people that's sleeping on the streets. And most of those people are probably American citizens sleeping on the streets. And you're mad because resources won't go to people who are not supposed to be here, people who came here illegally, but yet you watch homeless people, get it out the mud. That really made me mad. And I'm like, why vote for people like that? They should be taking care of the homeless population first. Now, I know California will say, oh, yeah, we're trying to do that. And just, nah, you ain't trying hard like you crashing out for immigrants. Nah, I don't see it. So I'm just, just speaking out loud. Again, I'm sorry if I'm freezing up. It hasn't done this in a long, long time. I don't know what's going on with it. Maybe because I haven't been here in 2 weeks. I don't know. JJ, what's going on with you? Says, where's the Congressional Hispanic Caucus silent as church mice? I don't know. I'd imagine a lot of them aren't silent because, any caucus, they're made up of people from different states and things like that. So you do see a lot of their people out there. What was his name? Alex Padilla, I think his name was the senator. He got slammed onto the ground as he was trying to go into, I guess, a briefing about the ICE raids. And he tried to interrupt. I forget her name. Is it Kristi Noem? Don't give me the line. But he got slammed onto the ground and detained, but he was not arrested. So they're actually pretty active. I would say they're more active with their people than our leadership is with us. The Congressional Black Caucus is not for Black people. The Congressional Black Caucus is for immigrants and everybody else. They're not for Black people. So yeah, their people are doing more for them than our so-called misleadership are doing for Black people. That is for sure. Uh, let's see. Sherry says the New York governor has gained illegals. He says 50 million for the legal fees to fight ICE. So Kathy, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about somebody else. Kathy Hochul, yes, I saw that. She's trying to spend $50 million for that cause. And it's like, yeah, she should be out of office. Next time around, yeah, she should be out of office. She should not be back in office. But New York is a very liberal state as well. And y'all tell me, am I freezing up really bad? I see on my end the Wi-Fi signal is not really connecting well. I don't know why. Please forgive me. As Edgy says, all those ICE movements remind me of 1933 when the Nazis took over Germany. You know, the follow-up, look at the bigger picture. I mean, yeah, I guess I could see that, but I don't know. You know, we're talking about people who are coming over here illegally. So I'm trying to figure the correlation. Yeah, I could see how you would liken what Trump is doing to that. It's definitely very austere behavior from that administration. I would venture to say they don't need to do it like they're doing it. You know, I guess there's a more humane way to doing it, but snatching people, you know, off the streets and things like that. But then other people say, well, you knew the job was dangerous before you came over here. You knew it was. But then that's why I said that the Biden administration is responsible for the immigration situation that we see now, because they told people to come over and get all you could get everything you could get. Come on over, come on. And then they left them hanging. Biden didn't do any type of legislation to protect them or nothing. He protected himself and his family, and that was about it. So, you know, I don't know. I guess I can kind of see what you're saying. Corey, you say, yep. And Sister Shirley says, Kathy Hochul's giving up New York city illegal immigrants, $50 million to defend the illegals, but nothing for us. Yeah. And I'd imagine a lot of Black people voted for her. Jay, what's going on with you? Crazy talking about some ice, baby. Konnichiwa, how you doing? He says those are all of the unemployed Americans' intents. Yeah. And you know what? Believe it or not, there's a lot of homeless people who work. They work. And some of them go into these nice little high-rise buildings and they work. They might sleep in their cars. They can't afford to live anywhere. Especially in California, the rent is too damn high. You know? So, yeah. But not all of them are unemployed. Some of them do work. Probably most of them, right? But some of them do work. Sherry says a Hispanic woman was on CNN blaming us for the looting. Yeah, I heard about that. But it's like that she's another reason why we're not getting out there. Because they like to blame us for stuff like that. And yeah, looting does take place during protests and things like that. But I don't know if it was us or not. But her people are out there. And then they wonder why our people aren't going to get out there. Sagittarius Goddess says, I'm sure they're all not unemployed. Yep, there you go. I should have read your comment. Yeah, not all of them are unemployed. JJ says oh, wait, hold on. Hopefully you can see it. I know I'm freezing up a little bit. I don't know. The caucus, he said, has been more upset than the Hispanic caucus about this issue. Yeah, they have crashed out really bad. They have been crashing out for real. And it's embarrassing. You know, it's embarrassing because it's like, man, y'all don't even give 1/10 of that energy to Black Americans' issues, but let it be about some immigrants that ain't supposed to be over here. Y'all doing the most. Everybody really should be taking notes and be like, yep, you ain't getting my vote. No, not absolutely not. You know, Konnichiwa says, as we see on the news, illegal immigrants have all the jobs to the extent that businesses may close down. Bingo. Because we have heard a lot about these businesses. Oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do. Trump, you need to stop. We have nobody showing up to work in the fields, in the factories, and all this other stuff. So there you go. Case in point, they sure are employed, aren't they? They got jobs. But, you know, there's a lot of people who can use those jobs. And in fact, I've seen a lot of people online said, you know, I'm starting to see more Americans working these, you know, jobs, constructions, and things like that, instead of, you know, the people they usually have there. Now, of course, we know that they pay them less, but they should be paying a livable wage, regardless of who it is, and especially to Americans, right? So anyway, Gear, how you doing? You says the majority of Black Americans voted to flood the country with illegal aliens. The 92% love their illegals. You know what? You got no argument with me from me with that. You're absolutely right. The Black voter votes for the Democrats disproportionately, more than they do any other party. And we've watched time and time again what the Democrats do for everybody else with our votes. They go help everybody else. You can look on any social media, any news or anything, and you'll see a Democrat, Black Democrats, all Democrats crashing out for illegals as we speak. But yet, when it comes time to vote, they're going to come, hey, Black Americans, y'all ready for some twerking? Y'all ready for some no voting, no voting? And then we go show up, and then they, they drop us like a hot potato. So it's crazy. Be easy, that dude, what's going on with you? Says Congressional Whack Caucus. Michael says, you just explained why I can never again vote for a Democrat. They have exposed themselves and their priorities, not Black folks. No, it's not Black folks. Never has been and never will be Black people. Never. It never will be. They lie. Well, they don't even do that anymore nowadays. But they tell us how much they need us, how we got to protect democracy. We got to show up. And then we show up for nothing but a kick in the tailbone. And see you next time, sucker. Okay, I'm glad I'm not freezing. On my end, it looks like I am, but sorry if I am. All right. Oh, well, thank you, Be Easy, that dude. Thank you. No Noxzema. It's some other stuff, but it ain't Noxzema. All natural products, right? Demetrius Wright, how you doing? It says Trump and Congress are moving us closer to civil war or World War III. So yes, that is the word on the curb that, we may be going toward World War III. Of course, we see the wars that's taking place all over, especially in the Middle East. Israel, of course, is asking the United States to actually put boots on the ground as they fired on Iran. And Iran said, oh, for real? I'll be your huckleberry, hold my beer. And of course, y'all seen what has transpired. Iran is like, see, you could have just left us alone, but you didn't. So we got little surprises for you too, right? Of course, we know that Israel is warring with that of, as they say, Hamas. But we see what's going on in Palestine. And of course, Israel has fired on, is it Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, even, right? And now Iran. So Iran is just like, yeah, no, somebody's got to do something. So with that being said, you're right. A lot of people are talking about it. I was having a conversation with Brother Phil earlier, and he was talking about a Cold War that we are in. But definitely people are talking about World War III. So it remains to be seen. But with that, they're going to want people from America to go and fight. So not so fun. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Mr. Norris says you are running smoothly, not freezing at all. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad that's the case. Mad Dog, what's going on with you? Be Easy says they know that they've been entering the country illegally. Why didn't they comply? Yeah. I mean, and they were told when Trump was in office the first time. Whoever it was, I can't remember his name at this point, but he was like, listen, y'all come over here. You're going to be dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. And even Kamala gave it a, little watered down approach. Don't come over here. Stay where you are. She tried it, but they was coming anyway. They didn't really do much about it. So you're right. Young Hans, how you doing? Says we aren't against immigration. We're against illegal immigration. There you go. I mean, we all know somebody who came over here legally, right? They did all the paperwork, did it the right way. And we're not even against Latinos, because I know that's been said. We're not against Latinos. I got, quite a few Latin homies, and I do, But why is it that they're only having this large conversation about the Latino illegal immigration? Why aren't they talking about the Haitians, or the Asians or the Africans that's being gaffled up, snatched up, and detained and all? Ain't nobody talking about them like that. But the Latinos are getting the larger conversation. Dear self, how you doing? Says, have you heard about the New York governor? Yep, I heard about it. Giving 50 million taxpayers dollars for lawyers for the illegals. Yes, I've heard about it, and she shouldn't be in office no more. This should be her last term. Sherry says those people are going home. They're not going to any concentration camp. They're going home. They broke the law down. Yeah, because we haven't heard any more about them sending. Remember when they sent the immigrants to CCOT? Was it El Salvador? I think it is. We haven't heard no more about that. So maybe they stopped doing that, as it sounds like they were sending people who didn't belong there over there. So yeah. But yeah, they should send them back home. Anything else is kind of crazy, I think. JJ says no Hispanic celebrities have said a word. J-Lo, Ariana Grande, etc. Some of them have, but yeah, they should be asking them to speak before they come to us. You know, and I've seen some black celebrities out there speaking out against it. It's like, shut your black up. Y'all don't never say nothing about black Americans, but when it's somebody else, y'all run and put your cape on your neck as tight as you can and just run off and go try to, do or say something for other communities. Like, shut your mouth. Just be quiet. You know? See, those are the type of people that need to be shunned. Y'all don't speak out about black Americans and the stuff we're going through, and y'all get out there on the soapbox and speak out for everybody else. Those are the people that should be shunned. Let those people help you and go to concerts and do all this other stuff. Leave us alone. I'm just saying. Doug Graham, I hope I said that right. How you doing? And Diane, what's going on with you? Says send them home. They gotta go. Oh, he crazy. Daryl, how you doing? Says they might raid Yankee Stadium in the future if Trump gets his way and ends birthright citizenship. This all ends. Right. Yeah, but it doesn't sound like Trump is slowing down at all, with the ICE raids and things like that. He's delivering on the promise that he made on the campaign trail, which is crazy because everybody heard him say he was going to do it. So why is everybody shocked? Demetri says on immigration, whether legal or illegal, it fuels the U.S. economy. Yeah, it does. But what about the people who are here? What about the taxpayers? Nobody from nowhere should get any American money. I don't care if it's a country or it's people. They should not get any American money until Americans are taken care of. That's the way it should be. We should all be demanding that. No, that country can't get no money. That country can't get no money. Let them fight their own wars until Americans are taken care of. Until there's no homeless population. Until homelessness is rare. Like, oh my God, I saw a homeless person today. That's where we should draw the line. Y'all ain't getting none of our money until we're taken care of here. In Israel, they go to college and everything for free. And a lot of black, not just black people, but Americans got student loan debt that they'll never pay off. We got to pay to go to school, but why other people ain't got to pay to go to school off of American taxpayer dollars? So I hear what you're saying, but Sherry says 2028, they are not going to ask for black Americans vote. Just watch. This is why they're doing so much for illegals now and has been. Oh, no, they'll ask for it because those people can't vote. They'll still ask for it. They'll figure out a way to do it like we got amnesia. And a lot of times we as black people do have amnesia. Oh, well, we don't want Trump. And Trump, he can't run again regardless of what he says. But we don't want the Republicans or anybody else to get in. So we're going to go and vote. For the Democrats again, is like, no, not until the Democrats put something on the table that we can verify a good reason to vote for, right? Tanya, how you doing? T. Austin, what's going on with you? Say, hey, big head. I do got a big head, don't I? Or you talk about them talking to us. Hey, big head. Yeah. Tracy says, voted for my couch and snacks. Yep. JJ said America will be third world country in about 10 to 15 years. You think it's going to take it that long? I think we kind of already there, Jacoby, what's going on? He says there was an FBA sister that was a UPS mailer, so United States Postal Service mailer, dropping off mail in a wealthy neighborhood, and race soldiers arrested her in a uniform while working her route. CBC sucks. So she was a Black American sister, huh? What did they arrest her for? Not ICE or anything like that, right? They just arrested her. What was the reason? Because I haven't seen that story. And Sister Shirley says after ICE raids in Nebraska chicken plant, they restaffed within 48 hours. Jersey Rick, what's going on with you? Sherry said, did you see that Black American? African fine construction owner? You mean construction owner? Let us know that the Hispanics are trying to get Black Americans fired. Yes, it's funny. I actually did a story off of that today. It's not out yet. But yeah, it was an African brother basically said that the Latinos come to him on, I guess, his construction site and say, oh, don't hire Black Americans, hire my homie Jose and all of that. And he said they'd be snitching and all kind of stuff. And he was like, I'm Black. Why would you come to me and ask me to do that? And I said in my video, they do it because there's some, other immigrants that do that. Yeah, I'll hire Latinos before I hire Black Americans, even if they're Black immigrants. I've seen it here in Houston in a Nigerian grocery store. I've seen it with my own eyes. So yeah. Let's see here. Kazaya, how you doing? Long time no see. Happy Juneteenth to you as well. Diane says the selection of mayors in New York City is horrible. I'll be voting for the couch again. Yes, I saw that Andrew Cuomo was back in there. It looks like he's the front runner. Of course, you guys know he was the governor and he was disgraced. He got caught up in the Me Too thing. And I guess now he's trying to be, was he the governor? Yeah. Now he's trying to be the mayor. And looks like he may be getting rid of Eric Adams, who is just a whole clown show in and of itself, right? Mission Vision, how you doing? Corey says, exactly. And Edna, how you doing? He says, okay, good. I'm not freezing. Thank you. Still, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Are you like that Kamala impression? Donovan does it a lot better than me. Avenge the Ancestors, how you doing? And yes, indeed. Tracy says, Fort Dam. He says, Fort Dam, my power. Oh, he said, your power went out. A storm is coming. Must be bad because it's not normal. Ooh. Well, be careful out there. Yeah, we're in hurricane season here in Houston. I haven't seen any rain as I have not been here in 2 weeks and then almost a whole month, right? So I've been kind of missing a lot of the rain. Thank God. Dano, what's going on with you? Says talk about it. And Jay McClendon, what's going on? Says, can they put the cape on for reparations? They won't do that because their paymasters will never allow them. And when I say they, I mean the Black celebrities. Their paymasters will never allow them to use their platform to talk about anything beneficial for Black people. The only thing they'll let them do, especially, probably shouldn't bring up Tyler Perry's name right now, but your Tyler Perry's and your rappers and singers, only thing they'll let them do is sell us degradation. Only thing they'll let them do is tell us how to the WAP and the twerk and the shoot 'em ups and all the degradation you can watch on anything Tyler Perry is doing, right? So yeah. Michael, he says the Latinos are the largest number of illegals, which is why they're being mentioned the most. I personally don't care where they come from. They all need to go. Yeah, you're right. I would imagine that they are the largest demographic of illegal immigration. But yeah, you're right, because we couldn't go anywhere else and just plant a flag and say, I'm here, deal with it. And in fact, I want you to give me all of your resources. We couldn't do that anywhere. Lynette, how you doing? Montgomery, Alabama. Donovan, nobody signed no petition about me. And what you doing on here? I thought you were getting some medical attention in the DR. Panther Strike, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. He says, we have no interest in stopping federal officials arresting illegal immigrants. Not our fight. And it's not. I don't even know why anybody thinks that it's our fight. You don't go to the Asians and say, help us fight. Or anybody else. It's Black Americans. How dare you sit this one out? You're next. It's like, no, we're not next. Because first of all, we belong here. We were born here. And if there was a next, we're first, second, last, third, and now. So it was never a time when this, whatever this next is, has escaped Black Americans. It's always been us. So don't try to gaslight us into getting boots on the ground because we may be next. You know what I mean? Sherry says the white man found out that these people were talking about taking over their country and they're not going to have that. They do not want to be down here with us. Yeah, they especially Latino population, have never wanted to be associated with Black people. They always wanted to be above, right? They never, I don't know why they would think they're beneath us, but for whatever reason, they never want to be beneath us. So yeah, that's why they never aligned with us. It was always a takeover and surpass Black Americans. But yeah, they got a little juice, but who got the juice for real? Because why y'all calling our names? Why y'all sending out the bat signal? As I said, when I was out there at the protest in Riverside, I saw maybe 10 Black people out there, and some of them were taking footage like me, but I didn't see too many people out there. And I said, it's very telling, Tyrone says 7% of millionaires in America are Hispanic. Why aren't they using their resources? I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Why aren't they, you know, doing all that they can do? And again, I've seen quite a few. I don't know if they're millionaires or whatever, but yeah, you know, go make it do what it do. Donovan says here in Dominica, they are rounding up Haitians to protect jobs for citizens. Yeah, and they tried to round me up when I was out there. Me and my daughter, they tried to round us up. I guess they thought we were Haitian, but they filthy hands on us and everything. You know, but yeah, even over there, they don't cut for that. They won't let the Haitians, and they share an island. They won't let them come over there at all. They are like steaming mad at the thought of Haitians going to Dominican Republic to get anything. They're like, they shouldn't be getting our resources. Oh, we saw it when we were there. They had like all these protests going on, and we asked them, well, what's the deal? And they're like, you know, we don't want our government to pay for Haitians. And of course, we saw them snatching them up, you know, detaining them in their deportation van. It looked like a jail on wheels. And it was so sad to see. So yeah, you couldn't go over there and do that, you know. HDLC, how you doing? He says Trump says 1 million must go. We need to keep a tally to hold him accountable. Yeah, and I don't know what the number is now, but it seems like it's gotten, you know, quite a few. I don't know. Donovan says Dominica is having the same problem as the USA with Haitians. Build up your country. All right, Tracy, I'm glad that your power is back on. HGLC says 1 million this year, back to zero count for 2026. Khalil, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Let me see. I'm skip down a little bit so I can catch up. Panther Strike says suspicion of burglary. Queen Demetria, that's what she was falsely accused of. So she's a mail lady and they thought she was burglarizing something. These people are really sick. See, we got our own problems. And like you said, the CDC is very quiet about that. I mean, the CBC rather. They're very quiet about that, but they're very loud about people who shouldn't be over here. But you got a black woman that's doing her job, getting gaffled up by the police because she's being accused of breaking in somebody's house. See, it's very scary to even do those type of jobs because you just never know what is on the other side of that door just waiting to bag them one, right? So we must be careful out there. HGLC said, I seen the postman in my neighborhood take a weed break. Yeah, our post Mormon, she's a sister. She be on that phone, boy. I don't know what she be talking about, but sometimes she be mad. She be going there, but she be doing her job. Donovan says, Demetria, I challenged the immigration policy here in Dominica, and they put me in that Haitian immigration truck. They are not playing. Yeah, you better not do that again. Daryl, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. GP, what's going on? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. It says literally just got here. Can't stay long, though. I have only 7 minutes on my hands. I think this show might make me need CPR. I say that because Demetria always looks breathtakingly beautiful. What's up? Well, thank you so much. Oh, I'm hot now. The art of today. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Italian, what's going on? He says my fatigue has fatigue, and what does that mean? Jacoby says no. She has. She was profiled because she was black, and the race soldier could not believe that she worked even after providing for her work ID or driver's license. She lost her job for leaving her postal vehicle. Yeah, they're evil. But I want to tell you this. If you believe in anything about prophecy, whether you follow the Bible or any of that, you've been listening to the Nation of Islam, their time is up. Their time is up. You know, and one good thing about me being in California, I got to spend a lot of time with my father, which I love doing. You know, he's up there in age now, he's 81. But he was like, yeah, they were given 6,000 years and that time is up. So we're seeing, I think, about the tail end of it right now, but their time is up. And I know it's kind of, you know, tough to see and hear those things. They know their time is up. If you know, you know. Mr. Norris says, black people act like if they don't vote Democrats, they're going to lose something that they never got anyway. Duh. Exactly, right? And they just need to wake up. Tracy, you say, I'm an ex-postal worker, so I bet you have a whole lot of stories, right? One Who Cares says, Tyler has been a busy man. Off to the lawyers. Yeah, Tyler. You know what? I'm going to get to the rest of these comments, and I'm going to get into that just a little bit. It's crazy. Mad Dog says, black people stand down. Yep, sit yourself down. Michael says, the Latins have a culture of anti-black racism in their homelands toward us, and they bring it here to America with them. They can miss me with their mess with them folks. Yeah, a lot of them don't like us. They despise us. It's like, we ain't did nothing to you. We've done nothing to you. And you come over here with all of that. Why? what is all of that about? You know what I mean? Man, I got a story about my dad, but I won't tell it. He probably won't want me to tell it. But yeah, he had to do some straightening one time on one of them who thought they was gonna get disrespectful. So I'll just leave it at that. All right, GP, have a, I guess, good time at your job orientation. I don't know. Brother Donovan says, I'm boots on the ground. Do not go to another country without a passport, papers, and or invite. They are not playing. Absolutely. You can try it if you want to, right? Sherry says, and they say we are lazy and we don't want to work. Hell, they have all the damn jobs. I think Trump is helping us because now we can get those jobs. These people don't want us to eat. Yep. Totally agree. So when he said they're taking the black jobs, you know, a lot of people mocked them and laughed and stuff. But I see a lot of people saying, yeah, I got a job. I got a job on a construction site and I couldn't get that before or whatever the case is. So, you know, who was telling the truth? Sunlight, how are you doing this beautiful day? I hope you're doing well. Keziah says, so you're talking to GP, have a great, happy Juneteenth. Yes, indeed. I'm not doing anything today. I'm just, Saturday, I'm going to do something. Hey, Raven, how you doing? Says, how come the illegals won't reach out to the so-called most persecuted people, the Jews, that come out and protest? Because they know better. They know better. Right, Sherry? Me no black, especially the Dominicans and all that. They black when it's beneficial, but other than that, they not black. And I'm black, you know. But when it comes time to be getting in the culture or, you know, cosplaying or something, they black. Like, oh, okay, got you. Steele, he says Hispanics was yelling Mayate. Now they're screaming, please help us. Yeah, and if you know what that is, you know what that is, right? It's a slur that they call black people. It's not nice. So yeah, what do you want us for? Stick with calling us that. Don't call us for nothing else, you know? Oh yeah, Tracy said you got 21 years worth of stories as being a postal lady. I bet you do. Hey, Brother Don, how are you doing? My triple OG moderator, hope you're doing well. Mr. South Carolina, what's going on with you? Says I almost made the Juneteenth in Houston, Texas, but the business deal fell through. The salesman, okay. Yeah, you know, Juneteenth, they've been celebrating that out here. And even when I was in California, we celebrated it. So it's nothing new to us. They gave us a federal holiday. And if you got the day off with pay, hooray for you. Okay, Daniel, how you doing? Says racist ass Ron Garcia crying online because Hispanics are being deported by ICE. Yeah, I mean, we'll get out there and then help your people. Crying to who, right? So anyway, I don't see any more comments for the next couple of minutes. I talked a little bit about Tyler Perry. I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before that the news broke that Tyler Perry was being accused of essaying one of his actors, I guess employees. He looks white, but some people are saying he's Hispanic, so maybe he's a white Hispanic. I don't know. But nevertheless, it sounds like he's accusing Tyler Perry. I guess he said he went to his house one time, spent the night, and Tyler Perry went into the room that he was in with his drawers and then groped him up or whatever and told him, this honestly sounds like a Tyler Perry, you know, movie or something. But apparently Tyler Perry says, don't fight it. Just go with it. It won't hurt much. I mean, not that it's a laughing matter, but so nevertheless, the dude is suing him for $260 million. It's like, because he grabbed your booty? I don't even know if it's true, right? I don't know. So nevertheless, Tyler Perry is saying, it's not true. He got me messed up. And so, you know, his lawyers are countering and all this, saying it's not true. Now, y'all want to know my opinion. My opinion is I don't think it's true either. But you know what I do think is true? And I'm not alone in this. So please don't make it seem like it's just me. I think Tyler Perry is, and he's always been. And for whatever reason, because he's not living his truth, maybe he got caught up. I think, and this is all speculation as it's not normally my field of conversation. I think they were probably together somehow. And the dude was like, oh, people getting shaken down. P. Diddy. They tried to shake down Jay-Z and Smokey Robinson. So I think he probably is like, I'm going to say he did something to me. Now, of course, when a shakedown happens, it's, oh, you better give me this amount of money or I'm going to go to the public. I'm going to tell. And then that's been working. It used to work, right? But now I think people are like, do what you must. You will not get 260 million out of me, because Tyler's probably like, well, people are already thinking that about me anyway, but I didn't SA you, whatever the case is. But I think Tyler is that. I think, we've seen, for those of us who have been unfortunate enough to see his movies and things, we've seen him play out those fantasies. Because I'm like, I'm straight. And some of the things that he writes about as far as, LGBTQ stuff is like, why would a straight man? Because he says he does all the writing. He does all the writing. He said that. Oh, I sit in my room and I do all the writing. It took me 5 days to write this script. So he said he does all the writing. So it's like, why would a straight man write such scenes? Because, Ryan Murphy is a great example. And I like Ryan Murphy stuff. Ryan Murphy, he is the creator of American Horror Stories and a whole host of other things. And he puts some gay content in his stuff because he's a gay man, right? But it's not overly, the stuff that I've seen, it's not overly done like it's hard to watch. Tyler's like, maybe I shouldn't have used that gesture. But Tyler's like, I can't say go hard in the paint either, but he does a lot. Tyler does a lot in his content. It's like, why would you? Well, that's not a mind of a straight man. Have him bend over and I can't think of too many straight men that's right like that. So I think now it's, and Tyler is a Christian because we've seen him baptize TD Jakes. Remember when TD Jakes fell all out and stuff? We've seen him do it. So he also knows that in the Bible it says, basically what's in the dark will come to the light. So if that's who Tyler Perry is in the dark, which most of us kind of speculate that. Now, he hasn't come out the closet, so I don't want to be trying to snatch people out the closet. But if he is indeed that, maybe this is the light now. Maybe it's the light or whatever. But the other thing is, and I'm seeing you guys' comments. Hey, Maureen, how you doing? Norma X, what's going on with you? You say y'all got to vet these guys. Worst thing you could do is get with a hand bender. You crazy. I see, I'm in public relations, right? I'm a master's in public relations. And if I were to advise Tyler Perry or anybody with something to lose for real, I'd be like, don't be having yourself around people. Hey, Pop, how you doing? Don't be having yourself around people that could jeopardize what you got. Why do you have this little bony white man spending the night at your house by yourselves? No. You know how that's going to look? He can accuse you of whatever, right? Don't do it. Are you crazy? Like, does he have people around him? Like, Tyler don't seem like he takes a lot of advice from people because people say, hey, Tyler, your scripts suck. Your writing sucks. You need to hire other people. Nah, I know what I'm doing. Right? So maybe he can't take advice. Now, from a public relations point of view, I always use this example. What would a doctor do? Now, bear with me here. Back in the day, it was customary for a doctor to go into the patient's room by himself, right? I'm just saying from a man's point of view, of a male doctor. It was customary. Like, they just go in there and with or without a glove, because that was sometimes the accusation. He didn't use a glove on me. He stuck his bare hands, right? So doctors were getting in trouble for squeezing the Charmin when they shouldn't have been squeezing it that way. So what they started doing was, all right, doctors cannot go into the room with the patient without a nurse. Why? Yeah, sure, the nurse is going to say, okay, here's your scalpel or Band-Aid or whatever it is. But the nurse was also protection, or I should say is, right? The nurse serves as protection and a witness. Protection for the doctor and the patient, right? And a witness to say, well, he ain't had no gloves on. I don't know why he didn't have no gloves on, right? So that's what everybody should do. If you got something to lose, I don't care how big or small it is, like, think about what would a doctor do? Would a doctor leave themselves unprotected to jeopardize their medical license and all that? Well, you shouldn't do it either. Stop having, people spend the night at your house. That ain't your wife, or whatever the case is. One time I had a friend at work. He's a single father, and he had 2 daughters and a son. And his oldest daughter, I think she was like 15 or 16 at the time, they all want to go to Magic Mountain. All of his children and the oldest daughter wanted to bring her friend, who was a female. And he says, D, what should I do? She wants to bring her friend, and it's just going to be me, because again, he's a single dad, right? You think it'll be okay if I just had one room? And I said, I don't think it's okay that you take her at all. Because God forbid, she say you did something, or maybe if y'all do share a room, you come out with your towel on, and she comes out with a towel on, and somebody say you said, it's better just to tell your daughter, I'm sorry, honey, she cannot come with us. Now, unless her mama or, some other female chaperone that's an adult comes along, but I wouldn't put myself in that situation. And you know what he said to me? He says, thank you, because I didn't think of that. I never thought of that. I ordinarily thought that would be okay, which is why I asked. I said, yeah, don't put yourself in that situation. So I'm just saying that with Tyler Perry's situation, we don't know what happened with him, who he did or what he did. We don't know. But for anybody out there, stop putting yourselves in situations that may cost you. Now, the good thing for Tyler Perry, it's kind of good and it's kind of bad, okay? The good thing for Tyler Perry is Black women love him. He can do no wrong. Because that's the people who watch the stuff the most, I'd imagine. I know Black men watch too, but I think Black women are probably his largest demographics. And they going to go to bat for Tyler. He didn't do it. Oh, no, not Tyler. They lying on Tyler. But they telling the truth on P. Diddy. They telling the truth on Jay-Z. They probably, in their opinion, telling the truth on Smokey Robinson and anybody else that's getting caught up, right? So all I say is just be careful, because everybody that you surround yourself with, they're not your friends. I would venture to say most people aren't your friends. They're friendly, but some people are thinking, as soon as they leave that door open, as soon as they leave it open, I'm going to go through and I'm going to try to get them for something. I'm going to try to get me something. Now, this white man, Hispanic man, or whatever he is, I really do believe he's trying to take a book out of Me Too. He got him a big fish. Tyler's a big fish. If I could shake him down, but it's like for $260 million, did you give him? I ain't going to say nothing else, but $260 million? Then the obvious question, I'm sure somebody's asking, hey, Beverly, how you doing? Why you didn't call the police if he did something to you? This man groped you up in his house and said, just don't move. Just go with it. It's not going to hurt much. That's what he said. Why didn't you? And then hold up. He stayed and spent the night. He said, I just changed the subject. And I went to sleep. Do you know that if I was at somebody's house, man, woman, female, cat, dog, lizard, whatever it is, and they did that to me, I'm not closing my eyes under their roof. I'm leaving up out of there, and I am 911. You know what I mean? So it's a lot going on. Will Tyler Perry come out of the closet? I don't know. Will he get in trouble for this? It remains to be seen, but I'm not shocked. I'm shocked by the allegations, but I'm not shocked because we've seen the text, and I think the text kind of indicate that Tyler is Hold on. I got a better prop for y'all. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think we have a better, good indication that Tyler is from reading the text, you know, because in one of the text messages, I think he sent the guy a picture of him and he's, I don't know if he was jet skiing or whatever he was, but he had on his swim trunks and the guy says something to him. And then Tyler says, oh, what about the handsome, the hunk in the picture or something? So I think we kind of got a, you know, a feeling that Tyler may be for the other team. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, Tracy said, like you said, it happened in 2021. Now, mind you, okay? Mind you, what was going on in 2020, 2021? I'll give y'all a moment. Just put it in the chat. What was going on? It was huge. It was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. And a lot of other people couldn't escape it and they got caught up in it. What was going on in 2020, 2021, I would say probably 2022. Not, hey, Chalk Chick, how you doing? Not COVID. That was going on, but it was something else. And thinking in relation to this guy's accusation. Not the videos. Me Too. Norma, yes. Me Too movement. The Me Too movement was going on then. So, man, you mean to tell me that man, hey, FM, how you doing? That man did all that to you in his house? Your boss, because the guy was working on, hey, Al, not the Hollywood, that was going on, but the Me Too movement. Tyler Perry was essentially his boss because he worked on The Oval. I think that was the name of the show. He worked on The Oval. So Tyler's your boss. For whatever reason, you're drinking too much, and you spend the night over there, and he grabs you in the junk, or I guess, I don't know, and says, don't fight it. Just go with it. It's not going to hurt. So it's like, what you talking about ain't going to hurt. I don't even want to know, but it's not going to hurt. That man did all that to you, and you watching the whole Me Too, you know, they burning down Hollywood. You know, Harvey Weinstein, that's the big fish, right? He bent over on a walker now. You know, trying not to go to jail, and they dropping cases on him left and right, so he'll probably be a free man. But you watch all that go on, and you didn't utter a word. Tyler Perry grabbed my booty and said it wasn't going to hurt. Man, I'd have moved all them bras to the side. I got a story to tell, right? So that's kind of what makes me raise an eyebrow, too. It's like, nah. Because there were some men who said that they were Me Too'd, right? Kevin Spacey. He got caught up in the Me Too movement by some dudes. Now, of course, they dismissed it, but Kevin Spacey's career was never the same. I heard he went bankrupt and all of that. And I like Kevin Spacey until I heard he was kind of racist too. I mean, he's played in some of my favorite movies. But yeah, he got caught up in there. And then he came out and says, oh, I'm homosexual. I mean, I didn't know that he was. I never even thought that he was, but other people said they knew. But that's when Kevin Spacey came out of the closet, when he got accused of, you know, Me Too-ing people and stuff. So I don't know why that guy wouldn't come out and say, hey, you need to add Tyler Perry to the list because he sure told me it wasn't going to hurt. Just go with it. Like, Tyler, what was you trying to do to this man? If those allegations are true, or those accusations, what was you trying to do to him? What was going to hurt? I don't want to know. Lene, how you doing? Said it was going on before that. Yeah, so, you know, why did it take so long to say anything? Tracy says Me Too was before that, wasn't it? Yeah, so even before that, was 2019-ish, give or take. So, yeah, it was long before that, and you didn't say nothing? Then he says he quit. He quit because I couldn't shake it. I couldn't shake what he's done to me. But it sounds like he worked for quite some time after that. So I was like, man, if you don't knock it off, if you don't stop, $260 million. Did it hurt? I mean, I'm just trying to be clean. Like, did you get, like, why do you 260 million? My God, that's crazy. Anyway, let's see. Daryl says Tyler's switch hitting. Yeah, you're doing something. As Eddie says, why Tyler did not hire blacks. And that's the other thing. Now maybe these black people, your P. Diddy's, if he gets off, I think it's a large possibility Diddy gonna get off. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but just kind of following it. I don't know if the state is proving a RICO, and it sounds like they're gonna rest their case pretty soon. They're off today because of Juneteenth. But you know, if Diddy gets out, and all the rest of them that are, you know, under scrutiny, get with black people, work with black people, make good black content. Leave them other folks alone, okay? Leave the freak offs alone. But one thing somebody pointed out to me, they said, you notice that we know of, right? Diddy ain't freak off with no sisters. Because Cassie's not black. 50 Cent, if that's who it is, Jane Doe is, right? 50 Cent's baby mama ain't black. He got these other women to do these freaky, nasty, deplorable things, right? The sisters was probably like, man, you got me messed up. So yeah, get with some black people, make black content, stop freaking off, stop touching white dudes' booties if that's what you did. Stop all that debauchery, right? And do something good with and for black people from now on, right? So I agree with that. Kenneth, how you doing? Says take them to jail. Ooh. King Noble, how you doing? Let's see who else is on here. Herschel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You know what, Al? That is so nasty. I don't know what Tyler forgot to do. You know, I don't even know if it's any of that's true. Like I said, I think Tyler is definitely. But if he did all that to that man, I would hope he wouldn't be so stupid to put it. Oprah ain't give you no advice. Oprah been in the game a long time. She know the pitfalls of Hollywood. She ain't tell you, hey man, leave them little white men alone. Don't be having them white men in your house by yourself in your drawers, okay? I know Oprah gave him some advice. You know, Oprah, I'm wondering if she gonna, as I said on my Facebook the other day, can't wait for the Gayle King and Tyler Perry special. You know, give her that R. Kelly special where he's up, you know, ranting and raving. Y'all trying to kill me. Yeah, R. Kelly. He said they trying to do something to him. They're saying he needs to get out. Very interesting times that we're living in. It all remains to be seen. Pop says Diddy won't walk. His video game Call of Diddy has been canceled by Sony. I don't know. I think it's a large possibility that Diddy, I definitely don't think he's going to be found guilty on all those charges, but y'all got to remember, $400 million from what I understand is what Diddy is worth now. Okay, so he's not a billionaire anymore. It's $400 million. The feds want $400 million, and they're trying to tie his freak offs to his money, saying he used a lot of his money to do these freak offs. But I'm like, ain't a RICO when you're making money off of crime organizations? Diddy ain't made no money off of them freak offs. He was spending money. So don't you ever forget that. As problematic as Diddy is, they trying to take his money and tie these RICOs to the freak offs. That ain't right. That's what I will say. That ain't right. Alex says Tyler should be like Lena Waithe. Yeah, Lena's content, I don't see her doing too much, you know, LGBTQ stuff. She does. But the stuff that I've seen, it hasn't been just, you know, like hard to watch and you want to turn it off. Lene says, I hope P. Diddy does not walk. Why? Would anyone give him a home, him another chance? He's a monster, should have been canceled a long time ago. Yeah, I do believe Diddy is a monster, but I've been following this case. And if we're going by the law and the facts, they haven't proven that Diddy's done a RICO. So if we want Diddy to be in trouble for something, let it be for something he did. Not because the feds want to get $400 million of his dollars, right? They haven't proven that. Most people, experts and all kind of people have been following. It's like, I ain't seen no RICO. The state has not proven their case. They've caught all the witnesses on lying, from Cassie to allegedly 50 Cent's baby mama. All these people been lying. And for what I heard, 50 Cent baby mama was already a sex worker. But she got on the stand and tried to make it seem like, oh, I just wanted to be his girl. I wanted him to treat me like all the other women. Oh, he had me doing these things. It's like, girl, stop. Sound like he was already doing them things. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying Diddy is innocent of a lot of things, but I don't think he did this. And it made me understand why Diddy didn't want to pay. because Diddy was like, Cassie, is that you? Is that you? The one that was calling and making the arrangements and calling the sex workers over and this, that Cassie? That Cassie that they got on tape talking about she gonna somebody because they saw one of her sex tapes. She was talking about, I'll have you. It won't be me, but I know somebody who could do it. You can hear her on this tape saying this. So I'm not saying Diddy is a good person. Don't mistake me in that. But to hear all this testimony, all these willing participants, and, you know, them laughing, and even years after they said he did something to him, they call him, hey, big head, I'm just wondering if you got a job, I could come back to work. And would you go back to work if somebody was doing some horrible things to you that you weren't willing to do? Now, I don't mess with Whoopi a lot, but Whoopi said this, and I never forgotten about the Me Too movement. As jacked up as most people would think this sounds, you know what Whoopi said? She said, you could have said no. But you didn't say no. Now I'm expounding on that. You didn't say no because you wanted to be the next Hollywood starlet. You wanted to be the one with your name and lights all up on the screen. But you didn't want to be the one to say no and go work at Denny's. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but the casting couch has been in Hollywood since Hollywood been in Hollywood. And I ain't going to say no more about that. But that's always been the thing. So when these producers and these Hollywood executives say, hey, gal, yeah, I got a role for you, but you need to roll with me. You could have said, no, I'm good. I don't know. I don't think so. No. Now, of course, yeah, you would have been blackballed and it would have been wrong, but you would have had your integrity. But then you come back and say, he made me do it. Whoopi said. Now, I know there's some that said it was taken from them. I'm not talking about them. But as Whoopi said, you could have said no. But waiting tables wasn't what you went to Hollywood to do. So the same thing is true for Diddy. Those people could have said no. From the testimony I've seen, from the prosecution and the defense, and I followed this thing from day one, they could have said no. They didn't want to say no because they was getting the money. And somebody made a good point. Those workers were men. They were men. Now, normally it's women. Now, had it been women, it might have been a totally different ball game, right? But that it was men, those men was like, I'm getting 10, 12 racks a session. Hell yeah. You know, now it don't sound like Diddy ever did anything with them, but, you know, Diddy was doing the watching for what I seen, right? But yeah, those people were willing. Sounds like most, if not all of those people were willing to some degree. And a lot of them had buyer's remorse. And even 50 Cent's baby mama, she was accused by the defense of shading, what they call shading her testimony. Because they said, you didn't say any of this when you were interviewed. Even when the prosecution gave you a deposition, you didn't say none of this. But when the prosecution got up there, it was basically saying, well, didn't this happen? And then she was saying, oh, yes, it happened. And, you know, I was just wondering why he didn't treat me like everybody else. And the defense was like, knock it off. Because this is not what you said before. Now you're trying to mold yourself and your story to what the prosecution is doing. And that's so they call that shading your testimony. So she's been kind of called out. And yeah, still, it was grown people doing some nasty stuff. Some stuff that, and I ain't saying I've done it because I haven't. But if you turn most people's bedrooms inside out, I'm guaranteeing they're not going to be. Are you done yet? Was it good for you? Nah, they're going to be hanging from chandeliers and, if you know what I'm saying, in the privacy of their home. So if people turn your bedroom inside out, would they say, well, that's some normal stuff? Or would they say, what you doing with that extra bottle of baby oil? I'm just saying. I'm just asking some questions. Again, I'm not saying that Diddy is a good person. I don't think he's a good person. I think he's done some horrible things. But this here, I don't think the prosecution nailed it. I don't think they just got to plant doubt in one person's head. That's it. One juror has to say, I don't see it. And with that, if they do see it, Trump said he would think about pardoning Diddy. He said, nobody's asked me. He says, and I know Diddy he said some unkind things about me. He says, but we used to be friends. In fact, most of those freak offs were in Trump's hotels. So he said he would think about it. So it's going to be very interesting. Anyway, Lene says, what do you think about Nancy Grace? She talks about P. Diddy. Nancy Grace is I'm trying to find it because y'all been really trying not to be cussing and stuff. And I'm doing pretty good. Nancy Grace is doing it for the likes, the clicks, and the views. And Nancy Grace don't like black people. I don't know if y'all watched her when Michael Jackson was on trial. Oh, man. She just knew that Michael Jackson he was down for the count. She was doing victory laps. And when they said not guilty, that heifer turned whiter than she already is. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. So Nancy Grace is just getting likes and they all do it. All of the media, they got to talk about black stuff because don't nobody care about that stuff they talking about. So black people and content get them views. And it's nothing more watchable to them than a white woman on her show talking about a black man all day long. Unless Nancy Grace was in those freak offs, what does she know? She ain't in the courthouse. She only going off of stuff she heard. Nancy Grace is a black man hater. So, yeah, I don't even watch Nancy Grace. I used to back in the day. You know, she has some zingers here and there, but can't nobody tell me nothing from a white woman about a black man, especially a white woman like that. So, yeah, that's how I feel about Nancy Grace. And I'll say Nancy is the best. Is Brother Reggie on here? Hey, Brother Reggie, how you doing? I'm about to leave. I overstayed my welcome. Jay, how you doing? Says, regardless of what recently came out, I think the decision makers' minds are made up. He's done. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I know they got rid of a juror because they said I think he wasn't being truthful. And then another juror, somebody texted him and asked him, was he a certain juror? And he told them. And now they're, I guess, entertaining what they should do with that juror. So I don't know. Listen, we'll know when the verdict comes back. I don't know for sure, but I would think that if I was on a jury, I would have a hard time convicting him because I'm like, where's the RICO? Yeah, I see a FRICO. I don't see no RICO though. And I don't see anything that justifies y'all taking $400 million of his money, his dollars. Because anybody knows anything about Diddy, he had Bad Boy Records. He had all these alcohols and these clothing, and the Revolt TV was his. And somebody said that he even has a private jet company that's still making a lot of money even to this day. So he's got other things that he made money from. But to say this man made the money or used the money and the benefit, the FRICOs, is like, if y'all don't knock it off, it's crazy. Yes, Brother Reggie, hope you're having a great day. Juggernaut, how you doing? He says, hey, sister, not to change the subject, but about Juneteenth question. If you had a person come up to you saying Happy Emancipation Day, would you give the fool the side eye, or was it just me? It means the same thing. So I wouldn't get mad. I would laugh, but Juneteenth basically means the same thing in a way, I guess, even though emancipation came a couple of years before that. It basically means the same thing, but I wouldn't think anything about it. I wouldn't, it wouldn't bother me to the point of getting mad. I would probably chuckle and be like, oh, okay. And I'm imagining it was somebody who did not look like you that said that. But I wouldn't let it ruffle my feathers too much. It would just be funny. Tracy says, not Nancy Grace's face always looked like something stinky. Sure do, huh? Norma says the white woman's bitter. She could never get a black man. That might be what it is. I don't know. Maybe she need to get one and she'd be on there. I don't know. Tracy says the key thing is to make sure he's left either with nothing. Yeah, it's a money grab is what it is. It's a money grab. Delia, how you doing? Says, what are your thoughts on Supreme Court ruling transgender health care ban approved for Tennessee? It's for kids, though. Now, I'm all right with that ban. I think kids, if they want to do that, they should be adults to do that. I don't think that anybody else, even if it's the parent, should make that call for a child to change their gender and all that, because they may not want to do that when they're older. Of course, kids now, they see all kind of stuff. I don't want to be a girl today. I want to be a boy. But when they're an adult and they can think a little bit more for themselves, they might say, where are my boobs at? I want to be a woman after all, right? So Yeah, I don't like it. I'm glad that the ban is in place. So I know a lot of people will be mad or whatever, but I don't know. DJ Segwan, he says, Ice Ice Baby, okay. Hey, Brother Damon, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sharon, how you doing? Says they got rid of the black male juror and replaced him, with a white male because he supposedly used the wrong address on the juror form. That, I mean, if Diddy does get found guilty, he could definitely appeal on that. The wrong address, and you move the black one with a white one. You know? Free Mind, how you doing? Says, I'm here, just have been black fatigue from all the distraction that have been going on. Okay, we'll get you some rest. Tracy says, there are grown folks regretting changing their sex. Yeah. So why would you want to do that to a kid, you know? And Mad Dog, he says, you're all for it. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I've been on here far too long. I may come back here tomorrow. I don't know. I'm trying to get back into the gym as I have not been to the gym in a while because I've just been moving around a lot. But anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Have ways to help the channel if you want to help. I appreciate it. If not, please at the very least like, subscribe, and all of the above. And I will see y'all later. And Terry says, how you doing? He says, I'm celebrating Juneteenth and happy deportation day. You know what, you crazy. Adelia says, Lindsey Graham got a run for his money, 24-year-olds running for office. Yeah, and Lindsey needs to go because he's all right with sending Americans to fight for Israel. Yeah, he needs to go. So anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. See y'all later, most definitely on Sunday at the very least. Peace.